Hey there, welcome. We're back, 2017, and it's CSX in the kitchen. I'm Julie Jordan, and today we're going to make something perfect for a cold winter day, or night in this case. And it's Julia Child's recipe, but I've adapted it with some of my own ideas as well. But Julia, I bow to her. So it's her recipe for cheesy potato leek soup. The cheese is my addition, and this is just a perfect and really easy soup. So I like to bring you easy recipes, and here's another one. This is probably the most simple one that I've made thus far with CSX in the kitchen. So I already have one prepared, and I'm going to show you that at the end. But I want to kind of just go through some of the knife cuts and the ingredients and things like that. So basically, it is just potatoes, leeks, and a bay leaf, some broth. You can still just use water if you want, but I added broth for a little extra flavor. And so I'm going to tell you all about the leek, which is a member of the onion family, but it's very, very mild. And they grow in a sandy substance, so it's real important that you cut them right and really clean them thoroughly. So we're just going to use the white part of the leek, and we're going to take off this little hairy root monster at the bottom, and we'll just use that white. And these will all soften up because in the end we're going to use, you can use a blender, you can use a hand mixer if you have a Vitamix, or anything that you have around that can blend it all up and make it nice and smooth and creamy. And this is just a delicious soup. What gives it so much flavor is not only that bay leaf, but these leeks. They meld with those potatoes and the broth and give you tons of flavor. So here's the ones that I've already cut up. You can see those right there. And I've already rinsed these. You can see no dirt, but they're dirty little things until you get all that sand out of there. And almost every time that I've worked with leeks, there's been some sand in there. And we don't want a mouthful of sand. Okay, so then you just cut it in half, and you can see how there's all those little folds in there. So you'll just rinse that out, and then I'll take these ones that I've already rinsed, just give them a little rough chop. Because you're going to be blending this whole mixture together, it doesn't have to be real precise, but you want to cut everything kind of at the same size. That's the one thing you want to do, because you want it all to cook evenly. And these soften up real nice. So you can do it in a crock pot, or if you have to go to work and you want to do it, have it go all day and be ready when you come home for your family or for you or for whoever. Or you can do it in a pan on the stove, and that's the faster way to do it. But you want to let it simmer for a while to get all those flavors really melded together. If you do it in a crock pot, it'll be 4 hours on high or 6 hours on low. So that's your key. And it's okay if it goes longer. If you have it on low and you know you're going to be at work a lot longer, then just do it on low. The longer the better. It's just going to make it better. So you have your chopped leeks. Now, Julia Child used, shall I say, may she rest in peace, russet potatoes. I'm a fan of these red potatoes, so that's what I'm going to do. And you want to do the same thing with the leeks as far as your knife cuts go, and make them pretty uniform so everything cooks evenly. So you don't want to have nice soft potatoes and then some that aren't cooked all the way through. So I just cut it in dices, and like I said, about the same size. So if you have, this one was a little larger. If you have a smaller one, just fewer knife cuts, and that's all you have to do. This is so easy. And I didn't realize how easy it was until the first time I made it. And I thought, well, that was a no-brainer. So this one's at the end a little smaller, so you'll cut those a little bigger, if that makes sense to you. So you're going to cut all those potatoes up, and for a serving of 6 people, you're going to do about, if you do russets, 3 russets, a pound of potatoes is what you're looking for. You'll do about 3 medium to large size leeks, and that's perfect. So you'll put all of those in your pan or your crock pot, and then you can use chicken broth or water. And I chose the chicken broth because I like to layer the flavors. And you can use vegetable broth if you want to keep it completely vegetarian. You can do that. So I did chicken broth, and it's between 4 and 6 cups of liquid is what you want. So I did 4 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of water, and then you put your bay leaf in, and you just let it go. That's it. It's so easy, and I can't stress that enough. Now, in the end, what you're going to do is you're going to have some accoutrement, or garnish, as I say. So I did a little grated cheese, cheddar, whatever kind you like. I'm a huge fan of cheddar, some sour cream, and sorry guys, I didn't do the bacon this time, but you can also crisp up some bacon and put that on top. And chopped chives. You're going to want to chop up some chives, nice and small. And that's another mild, a member of the onion family. So you chop those up, and they just add a nice flavor on the top of the soup. So when you have that all done, say it's been your 4 to 6 hours, or it's less than an hour when you do it in a big pot on the stove, then it's time to whisk it all together. And I used one of these handy dandy hand blenders, a stick blender, immersion blender. There's many names for it, but these things are great. If you don't have one, I would add one to your collection. And they're not that expensive if you want to add that to your kitchenware. So I whirred that all up. And then the piece de resistance is that you're gonna take whole heavy whipping cream or half and half. I used half and half. And at the end, that's when you put in about a half a cup to cup, depending on how creamy you want it. I did a whole cup because I like it creamy. You put that in at the end, and then it'll heat through real rapidly. And then you will add the cheese. You'll add the cheese. I did about a cup and a half of cheddar cheese. And you put that all in there, stir it around, and that cheese, because the soup will be piping hot, will melt real quick. You want to give it a stir, and this looks really good. I'm going to put it into a ladle and put it into this soup bowl and show you exactly what we have going on here. So see how easy it is? I'll just recap it for you on that. You've got your leeks, make sure they're nice and clean, only the white parts. Whatever type of potato you would like to use. Julia uses the russets, I use the reds, but I have done russets before. It's a no-fail recipe. And as you make it more and more, you'll realize, I don't really even need to measure this. You just have an idea in your head. You just really can't mess it up. And that's the beauty about this, about this recipe. So you can see it's nice and creamy as I put that in there. Nice. And it's gorgeous, isn't it? Guys, gorgeous, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me move that. And then I'm going to put a little cheese on top there. As much as you want. Some chives. And they add a little bit of a crunch to it, a little texture difference as well as the flavor. And I'm going to put some sour cream in there. Some people don't like the sour cream. I like the sour cream. So see, you can have an easy dinner or lunch, or on your weekends. And easy, crock pots are just brilliant to have in the kitchen. It's dump and go. That's all it is. But either way you choose to do it, and I think we should have a little taste. Why don't we do that? Oh, that is creamy, velvety, full of flavor. Don't forget your salt and pepper. We can't forget. I seasoned it at the end. So that's what you're going to do. Make sure you season it, have whatever you want to put on top of it, and you're going to have the perfect soup for a cold winter day. And it's cold out there here in Michigan right now. So thank you so much for being here. I've just created an easy way for you to feed your family and warm up in these cold winter months. Thanks for being here on CSX in the Kitchen. See you soon. Mmm.